It's better. I mean,
we try and put up with
we
each
used
other.
to DJ individually when we first sort of started DJing, and sometimes you play a bad gig and you just like, why do I do this? You know, kind of thing. It's when we play together, you feed off each other, and it's a lot more fun.
Yeah,
so much more fun.
And because we are good mates, it's easier to travel, and we've got a lot of friends who play on their own, obviously. And they get lonely, they get bored, and they find it tough, especially long distances. I mean, to fly to DC for us was a 22-hour transit. I probably wouldn't want to do that on my own. But yeah, we enjoy it. It's lots of fun to be able to experience these things together. It's great. What separates us?
I don't know. I
think we're very similar to those guys. We
think,
love to party.
You have to be musically.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like from a, we don't try and like separate ourselves image-wise. I think what we try to do, we don't try to make a spectacle out of ourselves. We just try and make the music talk. You don't get on the mic that much. I just think it's about what we play and the music we make. And I think that's what we want people to love that about us, rather than some sort of gimmick.
We don't want to be a gimmick. I think that's what we've always wanted, is people to come to see us to appreciate what we're...
I'm not saying other...
No, there's nothing wrong with it. No.
But I think that's what we sort of set out to do ourselves. You don't dress crazy like that.
Yeah, I think for us, the way we see it, there's probably a bit more longevity in that as well.
Yeah.
I think favourite part.
It's a love-hate relationship, because like I said before, you can come up with 99 terrible ideas, and then when you get that one good one, there's just no other feeling like it.
Yeah, the greatest part of it is when you see other people enjoying it. Like when we play a track that we've made, we did our first tour here in November, and for us to travel halfway around the world and to see people in the crowd singing our tracks, even some track like our track Universe hadn't even been released yet, and people in the crowd were singing the words, and that's just completely surreal to us. I mean, that's by far the best feeling.
So then, in the same token, what's your least favorite and most difficult in production, other than dealing with each other?
When you hit brick walls, I think, and you spend so long on an idea, and then you realise it's going nowhere.
And also when you get, you're getting pressure from people. When's the next one coming out? What have you got to show me? And you're like, well, I've got nothing. But that comes with the territory, I guess. Well, how many gigs do we have a year?
Yeah. DJing, not really.
Well, we don't scratch or anything. We've been playing for...
We've been playing for about 10
People think we're the new
years
kids
now.
on the block, but we've been DJing for a long time. So
Right.
I think it's got to a point where we don't really necessarily...
Yeah, when we started out, we just had... We didn't own decks, we couldn't afford them, so we used to go into this nightclub and practice at the club as often as we could.
I remember
before they'd open and then after they'd close.
He'd play a track and there'd be probably 5.5 minutes left on the next track, and that's just not enough time for me to mix.
Yeah, he used to shoot himself.
Freak
He's
out.
got 5 minutes, so what am I supposed to do?
And now for us, because we've been doing it so long, sometimes we'll just be mixing live, and you probably won't be able to tell. So it's amazing how things change.
Depends on how many drinks we've had.
It sounds good to us when we've been drinking, but it might not to anyone else. There's a few kids in Melbourne actually. We did a track with a guy called Marcus Santoro. He's 17, and it's so annoying. I'm so jealous because I was so terrible at 17 years old. I had no idea what I was doing, and these kids, they already know, they get it.
Yeah.
So
I think the scene now is obviously a lot bigger than it was then.
Yeah.
So these kids are getting into it real young, and they know it's what they want to do for a living. But back then, for us to say we wanted to be a DJ when we were 17 years old, like my parents probably weren't that into the idea.
It's also easy to learn. I mean, you can find anything you need to know about production on YouTube, pretty much.
Right.
So it wasn't like that for us, when we were that age, and we'd teach ourselves everything. We're completely self-taught. Whereas these kids, there's forums and blogs and all sorts of things they learn, and they're just picking it up so fast. So he's a genius, and I reckon
there's a lot of young guys. Will Kay is another one. Heath Renata, these young Australian guys. Bobby Venno as well. They're coming up, and they're so talented.
Never ever give up. I think there was times where
There was a lot of times when we were going to get
going to, and nothing's really happening. But then again, you know, you never know when you could make and in my mind, and your life would just turn upside down, which is exactly what happened to us.
I think the key is to keep pushing. And I remember Tommy Trash said this not long ago at a conference we went to. He said, just try and catch the ear of someone with influence. I don't know it's easier said than done, but I mean it's what we did. We met up with Ivan overseas, and you know he obviously knew Axwell from way back. And once we caught his ear, that's when we started to build. And I think that's something you have to plug away at, which is networking.
And
the key is networking.
Never think you're better than you are, because you're never too good to take advice from other people and learn from other people. Think people that, you know, a lot of kids that think they're there already, they get a bit stubborn about that kind of thing. But you're never too good to learn from other people. I think that's also a key.
So there's a lot of lessons there. You've got to remember them all.
Can I get the Reader's Digest?
Yeah, cool. For sure.